I don't think that Timbaland can bounce back from this from a musical producer standpoint here forward. Everything that he puts out from here on out, I think will be questioned. All right, so now the last topic that we have here is kind of there's a lot. So Timbaland is stealing again. Timbaland is a kleptomaniac, apparently.
And not a good one.
Yeah, so he's been caught again stealing using his, what they call baby Timbaland AI from Suno. Curtis King spoke with singer-songwriter producer, I think it's Zara Skully, about her unfortunate situation with Timbaland and her viral post highlighting what sounds like AI music trained off of her voice without her permission. Now, what I didn't realize is when we missed a week, we were going to actually talk about Timbaland. It was the week that you guys came over, but we didn't talk about it. When he essentially stole Cuddy Fresh's music as well. So we got two little things here to talk about. Let's talk about, maybe I'll just play both videos. Yeah, let's play both of them. And then let's just make it a segment because there's a lot going on. So here's the first one.
About to bring tears to my eyes. God, wow.
Do
you hear that?
Find out you're just a hurt one.
Got one. This is what you call greatness.
And that was the first time I ever played it for anybody, was on that live. And I wrote that record like so personally, and I've held on to it for like a year. He was so excited about my music, and you know, he said he prayed to God about me, and I was right under his nose the whole time because I had known him for years. I wanted to believe it. I would answer when I was even serving tables at work. And he's like, we got to get you like a videographer to your job and serving tables and like tell the story like, because you won't be there long kind of thing. He put this song Suspicions into his AI, which is Baby Timbo. And he was on the next day on March 8th calling me being like, I changed your voice. Like I had a different accent. Like I was a man at some point. And he was having fun. And at first I was like, this is cool. Like I didn't realize the whole weight of it all, you know?
This is something that you granted him permission to do?
I didn't really understand anything. I was just excited to be on FaceTime and with Tim. And then it was just a lot of that and then nothing. I was confused. That's all. I was just like, why does it sound like me? And I even commented that. And then a lot of people commented that he kind of just like didn't really respond. And then when it came out about the AI stuff with Tata, that's why I was like, wait, hold on. That literally sounded like me.
The AI that she's referencing, the Tata, was supposed to be the
AI character.
Yeah. The actual AI character that was going to be the front woman AI of his AI label. So it looks like it potentially might have been trained on her. Now, here's another video. This is Cuddy Fresh. I think he's out of Seattle. I could be wrong. I don't know. He's super dope. About Timbaland essentially kind of doing the same thing with him in a different type of way.
It's Timbaland. He's one of the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? So there's a level of excitement that I wanted to have from my music to even reach somebody like that. But then there's also a bit of frustration as a grown man because it's like you just saying my name could have went a long way for me. Quite frankly, it's upsetting to continue to be in these situations where I don't feel like I want to say it's the right thing to do, but I think there's a little sense of integrity that like you could have just, if you liked it that much, a little bit goes a long way for somebody like me. Like my feet is still on the ground, bro. Like I'm working for everything and I'm not asking for much, but just that could have been enough. You know what I mean? So
if he's listening, guess who called for that beat? Ghostface Killer. Because of that post.
Why'd you tell him?
So I'm trying to call him today and say, yo, man, you need to send that beat to Ghostface. I don't get enough of that. But that post said, yo, God, can you send me that beat? That ain't my beat.
I don't know about you, brother, but I get PTSD from the music industry that I chose to stay away from when I hear that. He said he reached out to you about a possible placement that was going to happen because of him taking your music without permission. Like, what are we talking about? That has to do with a Ghostface Killer. Is that something that you were aware of?
No. For one, where did he reach out to? My DMs are in shambles right now, so I haven't even got through all of them. But I think another interesting fact is you could have told Ghostface who made the beat. And ironically, Ghostface has my number. I've already sent beats to Ghostface. So Ghostface follows me. So if Ghostface wanted that beat, he could have reached out to me directly.
We can talk about this further, but is this just like further proof that AI can't create anything?
Yeah, it needs something to draw from.
Yeah.
Man, both of these clips speak to the dangers of just being happy to be in the room with these people, man. You know what I mean? Because ultimately they there to steal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I would say that K Fresh didn't even know.
Yeah.
He took his video directly from like
his
TikTok.
Instagram and then put it. That's the thing that's really, and I'm afraid for that because I've had instances and situations where sometimes I've been places and I've just been happy to be there, and I've heard my shit. You know what I mean? So somewhere else, you know what I mean?
Many of us have actually been there.
Yeah,
Mike's
man.
been there a few times. I've been there a couple times. Not as serious of stuff. Mage's gonna have to tell his story someday. I don't want to tell it for him, but it's a pretty crazy story. So, but
I mean, like, I remember I wanted to be happy that My Face and My Voice were on Netflix, but I really couldn't be happy about that.
Yeah,
because you ain't getting no money.
I didn't get no money, and there's no acknowledgement.
No money.
You know, they eventually at least fixed it to say it was the new old heads. But
I think that's the part that was the most frustrating about that was that they apparently saw the fact that we were upset that they mislabeled us wrong.
And then fixed it.
They fixed it, but they still didn't reach out at all. It's like, all right.
That's wild. What's crazy about this whole Timbaland situation is when I look back, Timbaland's been doing this for a long time.
A very long time.
Because I remember he would go on live and want people to play their music in hopes of getting him to work with him. So he was secretly recording all of this shit that people were playing him as he's hyping them up and putting them in this machine.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Right.
To create this AI music. And like to your point, can AI create?
I know.
It can create plagiarism.
Yeah.
Evidently. And what's his name can put his stamp on it, Timbaland. But at the end of the day, it needs something to reference. And it's referencing this stuff and literally spitting the same thing right back out at you.
But let the people that are pro AI say it, and they'll say, well, it's the same thing as any other type of creativity.
It's not, though.
It's the same thing because instead of it being in like this model, it's just in your head.
Yeah. I can't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because, I mean, and he's showing, this is like the 4th or 5th example in the past, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So there's obviously more than that. He has a whole database full of thievery and deceit that he's going to try to put out for people to listen to and hopefully vibe with. And he's bringing other artists along on this ride because other artists are trying to hop on this wave now too. Literally right before the show, I seen something about Gunna is trying to create an AI artist as well now. And it's like, where is this going to go?
Yeah.
Like how many people have to be, you know what I'm saying, their creativity stolen from for this to become an issue? And I imagine that since these laws have not been written for this AI stuff quite yet, that once it is written, a lot of people are probably going to owe a lot of money. Because I don't think it's going to be in their favor.
I do know this is a weird connection here. I have an official remix that has come out with an artist who goes by Miss Crystal. It's like a dark pop artist. But she's also got a YouTube channel. She's an attorney, goes by Top Music Attorney. She's been kind of blown up of late. She did a whole interview with like Needle Drop. I saw Curtis reacting to her earlier. And shouts to Curtis King. He was the guy who was interviewing both of these people in this clip. So shouts to Curtis for the work he's been doing. Shouts to her because she's been kind of on Spotify's head for their nonsense. But I believe that she has created a class action lawsuit against Suno and Udio.
Oh, really?
For this stuff because of how it trains and how it's not paying anybody. So it's kind of a cool connection. So shouts to you. I've never met you, but we have an official remix out. So
because now once your voice is a part of the cloud or whatever, like it can't be taken back. It's now part of the training process of creating artificial art.
That's the thing. Like If you used it, you trained it off my music. I want something from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like give me my percentage. If the AI model used 0.0002%, I want my 0.0002%.
It could be just like streaming on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like if Drake samples that, all right, cool. 0.0002% of 785 billion streams is a check.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but it's something.
It's a check.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, and I don't know, like you said, I don't think you can't put the smoke back into the burnt out electronics. You know what I mean? Like
Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
You know, you can try, but I don't know how this is going to be solved. I don't think it's ever going to be correct in the way that it should be.
Nah.
But you know,
I honestly think that people that are doing it right now are going to get off scot-free. This is almost like a PPP loan for them.
Yeah.
Once they create the thing going forward, that's probably going to just grit lock it right there. Okay, from here on out, you can't train AI with artists A, Y, and Z, because then you're going to owe them this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It's going to probably fall back to like sampling laws eventually. But right now, it's the Wild Wild West because there are no laws in place. So Timbaland is exploiting the hell out of it right now. And he's doing it in real time because he's literally showing you what he's doing and he's talking about it and telling you exactly what he's doing with this shit. And I think that's more insulting than anything. Because he's literally telling you, your shit's dope, but I'm going to put it in this machine and see what I can do with it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to release it. And you still don't have a deal because I don't even think she doesn't have a deal. She was expecting to work with Timbaland.
Yeah, expecting
personally.
Yeah, I need to watch Curtis's full interview. I haven't seen it yet, but I don't know the full specifics on that.
And she don't got to deal with Timbaland, especially after that interview.
Man, I don't know. This makes me question Timbaland.
Period.
For at least the last 20 years.
So that was actually going to be one of my next talking point was. Number one, is there any coming back from this if you're Timbaland? At this point, with the type of like just betrayal to the entire music
creative process.
And music community, like, is there any coming back from this? And two, to your point, which you've mentioned, how long has Timbaland been doing this?
Or some form of this.
Yeah, some form of this, not just AI, because this isn't the first thing that we've ever heard about Timbaland stealing beats.
Nah. I think he has this on his reputation forever here on out, honestly. And it's putting an asterisk next to his production credibility. Issued an apology for, I think, one of the artists that we talked about. He had written a post.
K-Fresh.
Was that K-Fresh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he issued that apology. So is he just going to keep issuing apologies for everybody's from here on out?
When he gets caught?
And continue to do it? Yeah, because he's doing this live streaming.
Yeah.
We can see you. You know what I'm saying? We can see you and hear exactly what you're doing. So who knows what all else he has in his vault.
And let's not also not talk about this scam of paying Timbaland so he can review your music live on his live stream.
He's stealing. That's exactly what I was talking about. He's literally listening to your shit, dubbing it and stealing it, loading it into this machine and creating with it.
I don't think that I'm going to make the bold claim. I don't really think it's too much of a hot take. I don't think that Timbaland can bounce back from this from a musical producer standpoint here forward. Everything that he puts out from here on out, I think will be questioned.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know about the past.
Yeah.
But
you know. He's going to have to be extra transparent and say he comes out and he does a record for, I don't know who he would do a record. Like they do a new Nelly Furtado record and it winds up going to number one. He's going to have to be extremely, he's going to have to show, okay, this is where I started and this is where I ended, because people are going to just assume he stole.
Yep.
That's not, I wouldn't say that's not fair, because it is fair at this point, because we've seen you do this in real time. It's like if somebody,
got no shame.
Yeah. It's like, sadly, what I've got drawn into in the algorithm on my YouTube is people who like to steal out of Walmart. So imagine like you steal out of Walmart, and you're successful with it. You get home with the stuff and you unwrapping it. And then I see you with a new shirt on and you trying to tell me about how you paid for it. It was like, no, I see you steal all the time.
Yeah.
Why would I believe that you bought that shirt?
Well, now your picture's on the window when you walk in The store. That's literally what Timbaland is now. His picture is on the front.
You've been trespassed from the store, but you want me to believe that you paid full top dollar for whatever it is that you say that you bought.
Yeah, he's been spiraling. I think we've all seen that. What's the name? The roulette.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that was not the Timbaland that I grew to enjoy when he created that beat. And mind you, there's been a lot of misses on there here lately, but Timbaland is somebody that I credit as a great producer, and what he did on there was not great. And what he's doing now with using people's music is not great either, because you're literally just using their talent and putting your own little spin on it.
He's not been great for some time.
A very long time.
Yeah. And
just at least Blueprint 3, because those are some of the worst. That's some of the worst stuff he ever did.
I also asked the question to you guys, though. Is what he's doing just par for the course? Because Dre uses a team of producers to come up with records that he quote unquote produces.
He credits them though,
and they get paid.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that much.
I mean, the same thing.
That's
with
the difference.
The
That's
same
the
thing
main difference.
with when we talk about Puff Daddy as a producer. When you go through and look at
the credits.
Because you can look at the credits, like, at least I know through Tidal, you can go through and look at all the credits of who produced what.
And even if they're a ghost producer, they're paid for that. And it's not behind closed doors. It's not like I'm stealing something in that particular type of way.
It's not, oh, I'll get you next time.
Yeah, it's not like, they caught me.
Well, that's kind of what Kanye was doing with this last Vulture situation.
Yeah, he got caught up too.
And he got caught up. That's why a lot of those songs can't be streamed.
Yep. It's foul.
Give people the credit so they can go on and do something else. You know?
I think that's the other piece is like, what does it say? I mean, about Timbaland's character to like double down on this so heavy. And even like a while ago, he was on a live. I watched part of his live when the first time we talked about this.
Y'all lighting them people's ass today, boy. Shit, what is it? What about his character? No, it's real. That's a real question.
I mean, when he was challenged in this same type of setting that it was like this, and it was Timbaland, but it was on the other side of a live.
Yeah, she
was just barring him up. And he just kind of sat there uninterested the entire time. And so, like, if you have somebody, it's one thing to have, like, some type of remorse, some type of understanding for the thing that you're doing. But if you're going to listen to somebody say, hey, this is wrong for these reasons, and you're just like, nah, I don't, okay.
That's cool.
That's your opinion. Nah, at this point, that's not really opinion,
it's
man.
A fact.
It's not opinion that you are exploiting people. Like, it's what it is. Like, you can call it an opinion, but it's still fact. So,
because he has to put himself in a position to, we don't know who Timbaland is.
For sure.
So all of those beats that he made with the cricket sounds and weird noises, that was like top notch. Nobody was doing that back then.
Right.
Imagine somebody stole that from you and now it's not yours. And the sound that Timbaland created is now this artificial intelligent computers that another producer took from you and called it his own.
Well, I
he has to put himself in that position to actually understand what this is.
I
remember there was a little whispering during Timbaland's initial ascension that he was, he jacked some styles from some drum and bass cats over in Europe.
That hurts.
But I mean, like, I was like, all right, if he really jacked it, okay, because he was on that run after what he did for Aaliyah's 1 in a Million.
Yep.
And then, because I remember at first Genuine. So he was on a run where it was like, all right, well, once again, there's people saying that, make another Hove.
They were suing people back then for that type of shit too, though.
Yeah,
but not always, right? Because we know people. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to like try to tackle like imagine somebody who is not out there like that and somebody steals their stuff and they don't really have a good way to kind of defend themselves. Like, I'm sure this stuff happens all the time. You know what I mean? But to me, it's just like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar a lot. And I don't think there's, me personally, let me just say me personally, there's no coming back from this from Timbaland for me. Like, for others, that's cool, but like to me, it's more than just the stealing of the music. It's like, it's, to your point, it's his character. And I just don't vouch with that. You know,
I'll agree with you because, like you mentioned before, you know, the crickets and all of this, that, and the third, the shit he was doing back in the day. You know what? In its time, it was cool. That shit was fire, actually. But you live long enough, turn into a villain.
Maybe.
And that shit does not sound good to me no more, man. It all sound like...
You mean if somebody did it today, or what? Those songs have not aged well in your...
Those songs have not aged well. You know what I mean?
Know,
like,
man. I ain't gonna say that.
One in a million still slaps.
Yeah.
Some of them do.
One of a million, yes, but...
Pony still slaps.
Pony, okay.
Are you that somebody still slaps?
It does not slap to me no more.
Really?
It just, are you...
Maybe it's because I'm such a fan of Aaliyah.
Yeah, Are You That Somebody does not slap to me no more. That little part at the end with the baby crying and shit, turn the song off before it gets there.
I mean, it was definitely a sound of a time.
100% don't slap.
Some of the songs, yeah.
Yeah, there was so much on especially
Timbaland has. I'm not going to discredit him when it comes to that type of thing.
Like Anxious. Yeah. All of those are cool. But again, to a point that I made previously,
right?
Because he was dropping some bullshit then too.
Yeah, because Dirt Off Your Shoulders is fucking annoying. It sounds like my ears are getting stabbed, man. Turn that part off of the song, man. If I could,
it worked back then, man.
And I still think that song slaps. But like I said, I was in my Jay-Z bag, and I'm like, that's the song off of Black Album that I can
skip. Yeah,
skip. Yeah,
I've been saying this for like a decade.
I know.
It's like, but anyways,
yeah.
Lobster and shrimp. I don't want to hear that shit no more.
You don't want to hear Indian flute.
No,
I didn't like that song.
Yeah, I was just saying that because I didn't care for that song.
Drop. If it was not for the movie with Lil Saint, that song would be bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, man, I don't want to hear that no more. If it's not somebody singing over his production, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Justin Timberlake got some heat with Timbo.
That's his pocket.
I agree.
His pockets,
the R&B is cool.
Yeah,
the R&B is cool. Spaceship Coupe, still nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if nobody is singing on it, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Ugly, I don't want to hear it.
But same old G I can listen to like it's
come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah.